transition specifically for the first time. I'm gonna start with no rings, having imaginary rings, low rings, and then raising the rings. And then just having your athletes practice. I'm gonna have everybody get their imaginary rings.
Come here. Oh, okay.
All right, have everybody get their imaginary rings facing each other. And you are going to lean back, squeeze your belly, pull to just below your ribs, so find your ribs, and then trace your ribs with your thumbs, come through, and then press. And when you press, you're following the size of your body. To come back out of it, you're going to bend your elbows forward, trace your ribs, and then back up to the top. So you see your belly, find the bottom of your ribs, trace your ribs, press, bottom of the dip, trace your ribs. All right,
I feel like I should.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah. All right, so start with knuckles facing, top, hold, squeeze belly, find the bottom of your ribs, raise your ribs, yeah, it's going to be shoulder width, which is fingertip to elbow. So you want to make sure it's no further apart than that at the bottom of your rings. Height, you want to make sure they can get to the top of their dip on their toes here. So I bring this one up just a bit. All right, from there, I'm going to go to the bottom of my dip. I'm going to trace my ribs to get under the rings. Pull to the bottom of my ribs, come through, make them pause here, because that's what's realistically going to happen before you press. So this is what these transitions look like. Making sure that they're keeping the rings nice and close the whole way to here, and then through to your press. Start with setting up your height, making sure that you can get to the top of your dip.
Yeah. Is that good? Like shoulder width?
Yeah, so you want to measure fingertip to elbow, and then I changed the height of it so that you had to set it up for yourself.
Is that good?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you want the height to be, you want to be able to get to the top of your dip on your feet, so you need to
Got it.
Yep, and you can be on your toes. Yep. You got it. So starting at the top of your dip, make sure the rings are right beside you. Bottom of the dip. Trace your ribs, and your knuckles will be facing each other, and then extend. You got it. And then pull to the bottom of your ribs. Trace your ribs, but pause at the bottom of your dip. Good, you have to be a little bit more aggressive there. Pause there. I have everybody pause there, and then press out. You got it. Bottom of the dip. Yeah, bottom of the dip. Transition. Trace your ribs, knuckles facing, and then back down.
Is that
You got
right?
it. Yeah, that's right.
Okay. So here.
Yep. Transition and press. You got it. The difference being, you're going to see, this is something that you're going to see a lot. This is something you're going to see a lot with people doing these for the first time, especially when they sort of stop thinking and they're doing it in a workout, is you're going to see that.
Right.
Which is not realistically what's going to happen when you're doing the muscle up. So I like to just really emphasize pausing before pressing.
To press out. Okay.
The next level would be just raising the height of these so that you can't be on your toes.
Okay.
And again, you want to make sure that everyone can support themselves here, can do a dip, my toes will find the ground, and then under. Transition, press, down. Keeping the rings close and pressing through. A lot of people will not be here on Thursday, and I recommend sort of staying away from this unless people do, people can support themselves in a dip and maybe do 3 strict dips, something like that, before having them do this, because it can be tough on the shoulders. But watch for the rings getting really wide. I would say that's the biggest thing, just making sure that they're staying nice and close in that transition.
Okay. Go in and out. Okay.
So the first thing I would do is I would say, from here, can you support yourself at the top of your hip? And I can spot you by holding on to your so you have that distance.
From there, just go up.
Just go up into the top of your hip so far. And then I would make sure, okay, can you hold that movement? Next, can you do a couple of strict? That's going to be my, how I determine whether or not you're ready for this level of transition.
Okay.
And obviously you are. So from there, your toes are under the rings. You can extend down if you want to do
Sure.
false grip or your neutral divide. This is where I practice maybe getting more on top of the rings.
Okay.
Go ahead and extend under. And you can't do this slow. You can, but it takes a lot of strength. Don't try to do this slow. Transition quick. Pause. Press.
So pull there.
Hold it just below your ribs. Trace your ribs. Press. Okay.
Like that?
Yeah, it can be like that. I would, you'll make it, so it's like as much or as little as your feet give you. You could probably now
less
get to the
feet.
point where you get less feet. Yeah.
Okay, let me try that again. I guess I'm confused on, so you want me to trace slowly or
No,
no?
there's no slow transitions when you're
So just go.
Yeah.
Okay. So here. That was not
Good,
right.
so you went right to the press, pause, press.
So-
Especially while we're drilling, and pause here.
You want me to pause?
I do, yeah, I want to pause.
So here.
There you go. That's it.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And then you want me to go back down?
Yeah, that's a great, for people who are really good at these, that would be the next thing. Can you go back through it and negative? Nice.
Is that right?
That's excellent.
Okay.
Good job.
It's weird at first.
It is weird at first because, you know, we're going through it slowly. And once you get to the point where you're no longer using the floor, you can't go through this slowly.
No.
You're
Really strong.
strict.
So when I'm at the, I guess for them, just to make sure they understand, there's no pausing through that. You just gotta go. So
The only
here
pause is here.
and the dip. Okay,
And
so
then, you know, they don't necessarily have to come out of the dip because that's not the main focus. The main focus is just the transition.
okay,
And I'm just watching, and your rings are never going wider than how you have them set. And that's the biggest thing. People
Oh.
are jumping off the floor, going like this.
which is so bad.
It's bad, but it's good to catch it here. as opposed to there. Right.
Okay, so that's good.
That's it.
Okay.
So level 3 is going to be without your feet on the ground. So now you're using your strength and your hips without jumping your feet through the floor. So it's the same setup, but now I'm starting with my feet up here on this wobbly box. I'm going to pull to just below my ribs, transition, and press. My rings did get a little bit away from me there, but you can see.
Yeah, that was good.
You can see, you know, I can do more with my arms and less with my hips, maybe when I'm a little bit more warm. But right now I am using my hips a lot to drag me up, which is good because that's what I'm going to do, you know, I'm hanging from the rings. But again, the thing that I would watch for and the thing that I would tell myself is that I felt myself going around my body as opposed to pulling here and back through. Setup is the same height. You don't need to go higher.
This should be like the standard height for everyone.
No,
they're-
because for somebody like
Jason.
Jason, we're probably gonna need to hook those up there for him.
Okay.
Because there, he probably is at the top of his dip there, and he's
Yeah.
just sitting his head at the top.
But for the average person, this should be okay.
As long as you're not here, as long as it's higher than this, as long
I
as,
see.
you know, you can be here.
Okay, so it's got to be higher than your hips, you guys. It needs to be more at the chest.
Yeah.
Is where it should be set
That's a
up.
good,
Probably point of reference. Okay, so I'm gonna be here.
Yep. Again, make sure you pull to below your ribs. Use
It,
your hips, so you're driving through your
Everybody
feet
like
on the
this?
box, and then drive your hips up. Yep.
okay.
And transition. Nice. And
Like that?
Yeah, that was really nice. And then you want to go through the opposite motion. Good. Pause. Press. Now come to the bottom of the dip, and then bring your knuckles back together. There you go. That was it. Nice. The first negative, you kind of just flopped out.
I went back down. I would probably move it a little closer.
Yeah.
Just because my legs were really far. But I love that.
Yeah.
And that's what I lack is that hip drive when I go
Slower, doing negatives, working specifically just on the ring dips, working specifically just on the swing. But for now, for transitions, I think this is a good kind of place to start and to get everybody on the right track for transitions.
Yeah, we'll stay with this for the next few weeks and just kind of watch classes, how they're doing and progressing. Is that good? Okay. And if you guys find anything, if you're seeing anything in classes that we're missing or we don't know, you know, obviously we're not coaching every single class so we can't see everybody, let us know how people are doing with them, or if you feel like you're seeing something, you know, weird, just let us know. And we'll work on that template of, I mean, we can write these down physically so they can have access to that.
Yeah, and I'd be happy to like work one-on-one with anybody who just wants to go through that in person and then feel it. So.
And I think we're gonna go over this at the coaches meeting, or we're gonna go over the muscle up. We're going over this and then the handstand stuff, I think, too. Right? What do we say? We're doing a little bit of everything, guys. Thank you. Okay.